Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's story. As you know, the libraries are closed at the moment, so I wasn't able to go and get any new books out of the library. So instead, I had to download my book onto my Kindle. I hope you enjoy it. It's called The Boy Who Grew Dragons. When people ask me what we grow in Grandad's garden, I think they expect the answer to be cucumbers, tomatoes, or runner beans. I don't think they expect the answer to be dragons. But there it is, we grow dragons, and I can tell you this, they're a lot more trouble than cucumbers. Things cucumbers do not do. Singe your eyebrows. Make a really cosy nest by shredding all your mum's alphabetically ordered recipes. Chase your cat. Drop cabbage on your cat. Wake you up at 4 a.m. every morning by digging razor-sharp claws into your forehead. Set light to your toothbrush while it's still in your mouth. Of course, they also don't have scales that ripple and shimmer like sunlight on the sea, or have glittering eyes that can see right into the heart of you, or settle on your shoulder with their tail curled around warming your neck, and their hot breath tickling your ear. No, none of these things you can expect from a cucumber. Well, not any cucumber I've ever come across. Maybe a mutant radioactive space cucumber, but not your average garden variety. But dragons, well, they're a whole other story. So who wants to grow dragons? Daft question, eh? I mean, seriously, who in their right mind would say no? Not me, and not you by the looks of it. But if you want to grow dragons, you need to know what you're getting into. Sure, they're fiery, fantastical and dazzling, but dragons are not all fun and games, not by a long shot. Which is why, my dragon-seeking desperados, I'm writing all this down so at least you can go into it with your eyes open. Because believe me, you'll need them to stay wide, wide open. It started about a year ago, and it was all Grandad's fault. Well, his and jam tarts. I was just licking the last of it off my fingers when he said, we should grow our own. Chipstick. Jam tarts? I asked. Raspberries, he grinned. Then we could make our own jam for Nana's tarts. We could mix them up too. Strawberry and blackberry. Gooseberry and raspberry. Just think of the possibilities. Delicious! It did make a pretty good picture in my head. A vast plate sized of jam tarts with different coloured sections like a multi-topping pizza. And more too, Grandad went on before I could dive further into my jammy dream. Radishes, beans, onions, cauliflowers. You name it, we could grow it. Suddenly, I wasn't so sure it was a great idea. Strawberry and cauliflower jam. Ugh. Anyway, I had enough fruit and vegetables to deal with, what with Mum shovelling in my 5 a day. I mean, she even sneaked dry fruit into perfectly good flapjacks, as if I wouldn't notice. But Grandad wasn't one to let go of a good idea once it fluttered down and settled. So there we were at the end of the garden, up to our ears in mud, digging away at what looked to me like a monster jungle. In fact, I was beginning to realise why Mum had offered me provisions for my trip to the Amazon. Without the nettles and brambles, my grandparents' garden was probably half as big again and ran all the way down to the fields and beyond. I've been wanting to get stuck into this since we moved in, Grandad told me, pausing to catch his breath. But what with one thing and another, I just didn't seem to find the time. I stopped digging and scraped my spade across a clod of mud. I know you have no idea what he was talking about, but I did. I knew exactly what he meant by one thing and another. Join me tomorrow for part 2 of The Boy Who Grew Dragons.